Yes.
Hey guys, David's starting the phone. I never know like when we're live or when we're not. So we're gonna do one more pumpkin spice recipe tonight, one more and we're done. And this actually is already on the website, so it's nothing new, but I'm going to show you how simple it is to make. And this is not a pumpkin spice cake. What is this?
A crepe cake.
A crepe cake. He remembers. We made this with our Chibo class yesterday on Sunday. No, Saturday. Today is Sunday. Like, what day is it? We made these yesterday with our online interactive cooking class. We made crepes, and then we made the crepe cake, and we did a cannoli filling. So Winston loves it. Winston's right beside of us. And so you've got like a cannoli filling with the chocolate chips. We haven't eaten this one. We made it yesterday. Nobody has cut into it. Grace was just fussing about something, and I was like, do you want cannoli cake? And she's like, no. So anyway, but I wanted to show you guys because I thought it turned out kind of pretty. I didn't make it as high as I normally would because we were using the crepes for other things too. But anyway, so if you're just joining us, if you would, I always say this, if you'll share it in the group, if you'll share the link in Low Carb Journey to Health, that will help other people to find us. And are you kind of tired, honey?
Yes, I am just a little bit tired.
What have you done today? You watched TV. What have you done today?
I watch television. Isn't that bad?
I don't know why, but the two of us by Sunday nights at 8, we're just kind of tired. We're not as perky as we usually are. You're usually a little perkier, aren't you?
Okay, I'm usually perkier.
So we had a little chat, not a brief chat, and I was like, do you think we should do Sunday with the Sullivans earlier on Sundays? And he was like, yes. Like, thank you.
It's bedtime.
Yeah, we get up early. We're usually both up by 6 a.m. And so by 8 o'clock, we're kind of done for the day. And it's not good. Honestly, the reason I chose 8 o'clock to begin with was that was before COVID. I mean, it was back in January when we started doing these. And or December. We may have even started doing them before. I don't remember. I remember doing them with your melanoma, with your scalp melanoma. So it was January for sure. But anyway, we started doing them because 8 o'clock, usually the kids have been to like youth and they're back home and things are settled in. It's just kind of quiet. And we can count on knowing where we're going to be. Usually 8 o'clock on a Sunday, we're home. And so I felt like that was kind of a safe time. The folks on the West Coast, it was 5. They could join us. It was all pretty, smooth. But
Europe is a problem.
Well, Europe is a problem, but we do have people who stay up and they're wonderful. They stay up and catch us, or they catch us the next day. But I was thinking if we did like noon or 1, what do you think? You guys can let us know. Do you think 12? You can just type in the comments noon on Sundays or 1 Eastern Standard Time.
Well,
so it's noon Eastern or 1 Eastern.
Kristen's with us, Kristen Parker, who's in Hawaii. So maybe we should do it at 2 for her so she can join us at 8.
2 in the afternoon. The only problem with Sundays, like at noon or 1 or 2, I mean, usually we're up and dressed by then, right? Except I will confess that when the wing guy tried to deliver it to the wrong house, this guy shows up with wings and he's like gonna leave it by the front door, and David's like, we didn't order wings. I'm like, hey, what flavor is that? But I will admit, I was still in my pajamas. I had a really nice, wonderful, lazy day. But anyway, yeah, Kristen Parker really can't do noon. That's 6 a.m. for her, and even 1 is 7 a.m. and that's a bit of a push. I don't know about that. We have to think about Kristen differently. But guys, let us know on Sunday. The only thing about Sundays, and with COVID, we don't go very much anywhere, but we do sometimes as your family days. If we're going to go visit your mom and dad, especially, we may be in the middle of lunch. I can see us like leaving grandmama's table and being like, we got to go out to the porch and do our Sunday with the Sullivans. They're going to be like, what? Sorry, Winston and Banjo were playing under the table. I don't know what that's about. They were just playing. Banjo won't hurt him. Banjo's the little guy. But anyway, let's make our Sunday with the Sullivan muffin. But that's what we're thinking about, our big change. And when we make our Sunday with the Sullivan muffin, when we make our pumpkin spice minute muffin, you're going to get to meet our new appliance.
And it's not a Vitamix.
It's not I was saying it wrong. It's a Vitamix.
It's not one
It's
of those
a
either.
Vitamix, and I was saying it wrong, and it's not one of those either. But I do have something to tell on it. But anyway, we're gonna make pumpkin spice, and I had to. This is already on the website, and I'm sure if Kristen and Sunny Ray are watching, they'll link for you. But we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of butter. I normally I'd melt it, but this has been sitting out at room temperature. And then 2 tablespoons of sweetener. I'm going to try the Boca Sweet. I used these in cookies, and the kids really couldn't tell a difference. So I think it's a little less sweet.
So how much sweetener are you putting in?
2 tablespoons. I'm actually going to put a little more because I'm not going to put liquid sweetener, and I think it's a little less sweet. So I'm putting 2 tablespoons. And you don't like this pumpkin spice stuff, do you?
Not particularly.
One of the reasons I like using it is because we're going to use coconut flour, and it's just a tablespoon of coconut flour because coconut flour can be kind of high in carbs, but this is nut-free. And so for people who have nut allergies, this is a nut-free option. So that's just a tablespoon of coconut flour. And this is the Nativa coconut flour. It doesn't have a very strong coconut taste. David hates the taste of coconut. Bob's Red Mill, I like it, but it seems to have a really strong coconut flavor, and that one does not. So if you are like David and not a fan of that taste, then you might want to try that brand. Not endorsed, don't make any money off that, just telling you guys. And then I'm using whey protein isolate, 2 tablespoons of that. I love this stuff because it's 0 carb, and it just gives this fantastic texture to it. I know I'm being loud, but I was trying to scrape it off. Anyway, so what I put in is 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of sweetener, a little more than 2 because I'm using Boca Sweet, tablespoon of coconut flour, 2 tablespoons of whey protein isolate, and now 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree. I'm just going to keep using the same, then you'll have less to wash.
Thank goodness for that.
Okay.
There's already plenty over there to wash.
It's not too
Because my
bad.
naps were interfering. Well, yeah,
He
you
had
did.
naps, he watched TV, and he's tired.
You did make all sorts of pancakes this morning
Oh my gosh, let me get through this and we'll
for hours.
Oh my gosh, hours. The things I do. Pancakes, vegan pancakes. I have been trying to make vegan pancakes. I'm supposed to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I don't have. Great day in the morning. This is 1/4. I'll use a little less of this. And you know what? I'm not going to follow my recipe because it calls for pumpkin spice and it calls for cinnamon, and I don't really like the pumpkin spice that much. I prefer the cinnamon, so I'm going to put a little more than 1/8 of a teaspoon of the cinnamon and just keep it simple. Ooh, honey, I forgot to get an egg. Actually, there's not an egg. That recipe must be wrong. I'm going to have to fix that recipe. I think there's an egg missing from it. Will you pass me that egg? I think there's an egg missing from it, and I think there's baking powder missing from it. Holy cow, that's no good. I'm glad we decided to do this. Yeah, David's brother, Uncle Greg, gave me all kinds of eggs because I jotted it right down from the website. I think that's a mistake. I'll just grab a random egg, any egg. There are some.
Happy with that egg?
I'm happy with that egg.
Okay.
There are some double yolks in there, but this is not one of them. All right, so this is why I love the Minute Muffins. Well, of course, David makes fun of me making Minute Muffins because he's like, it takes you 10 minutes by the time you get everything out. Oh, and vanilla, that's
First
not in
one I
there
made
either.
took me about 45 minutes to an hour.
Took him forever. I think, I had surgery, something was going on that I didn't do it, that you needed to do. It was quite a while ago. And you were like, oh, I need heavy cream. Can you grab a tablespoon of heavy cream? But anyway, he was making it, and he's like, seriously, this takes forever to make these things. And I may not need the cream. It does call for 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. But holy cow, that's been on the website this week. That's a mess. I got to get that fixed. That's wrong. That's wrong. Are you guys enjoying the pumpkin spice? We're trying to do like 2 or 3 pumpkin spice recipes per week, and so you guys let me know in the comments if you're using any of them. Yeah, this one's on the website, and I think it's wrong because I copied, unless I just copied it wrong, but there should be an egg in there, and there should be some baking powder, and there should be vanilla extract. I mean, I don't make anything without vanilla. What are the comments?
Is it on your website?
It is on the website, but I'm afraid it's wrong. Can y'all check it? Can y'all check it for me? Because I don't. Yeah, I copied it on a piece of paper from my website, and then now that I'm making it, I'm like, I didn't write down egg. Maybe I just missed it.
How much not coconut flour, how much baking powder?
I just did like 1/8 of a teaspoon, so not a lot of baking powder. And notice the butter's not really well mixed, and that's okay. It's pretty forgiving. I'm just going to divide it between 2 ramekins. I did butter the ramekins ahead of time. The hardest part of this stinking recipe is getting it evenly divided. And I don't know what the dogs are fighting about. Maybe they don't like our new toy either. So David is going to put these in the new microwave. Our microwave started doing something really bizarre, like literally a month ago. It started doing this thing where you, the dogs, it started doing this thing where when you open the door to the microwave, it would keep spinning. So it would keep rotating. Of course, the light had burned out a long time ago on it. And anyway, so it started like just stopping in the middle of a microwave. So you're making, imagine,
the middle of a microwave.
the middle of a session. Imagine you're like trying to microwave something and like you've got it on for a minute and like 10 seconds later it stops. And so anyway, it was starting to freak us out a little bit. And I was like, David, I've got too much going on. You're going to have to get a microwave. He had put us off. Like, I'm serious. It's been 2 or 3 months of this crazy microwave.
She finally wore me down. I couldn't stand it anymore.
And so he came home with a new microwave. And I'm laughing because the dogs are fighting right at my feet. Anyway, so he comes home finally with this new microwave, and he doesn't set it up until like Saturday. And then today the kids are like, oh, this is different. It has a different ding. I don't like it, Mom. And I swear, it's a Panasonic. Can you put those in for just like a minute? You might want to do a minute and 10 seconds since it's a new microwave. And look, it's not so shiny. The kids are so funny. They're like, it has a different ding. And the buttons are different. It's a Panasonic, just like the other ones. And I swear, it really does look a lot the same. It's shorter. They don't like that either. But they're like, this is not our microwave. And you don't have to slam the door. On the old microwave that we purchased like prior to 2010, you had to really slam the door. And so David just slammed the door. Jonathan was like slamming the door. You don't have to slam it. But anyway, it's a new microwave. They don't like it. Grace had named the old one. I had planned to name this one the new one. But the kids don't love it. So anyway, oh, and I forgot, doggone it. You can, with the pumpkin, if you like pumpkin and chocolate, you can put a few mini chocolate chips, and I can just sprinkle those on top as soon as it comes out. David, be careful getting that from the microwave because you're going to want a hand towel or something because it's hot and you will burn yourself. And you can put pecan pieces. The carbs in it are not so bad. The carbs are going to come from the 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, and which are about a little more than a carb each per tablespoon, and going to come from the coconut flour. And 1 tablespoon of coconut flour is going to be 5 total carbs. So 5, 6, 7, get the egg, we'll just round up, we'll say 8. So we're at 4 carbs each, so we got to be careful with that as far as putting anything else in there, but you may be able to put just a sprinkle of pecans or a few of the chocolate chips. You got them? Oh, okay, they need to get back in. See how they're kind of wet? Ooh, careful, you okay? Put them on like another 30 seconds. Ooh. When they're not minute muffins anymore. Well, it's a different microwave. When they're wet like that, when they don't look like a cake, then they need to go a little bit longer, and just do them like 30 seconds at a time. Ooh. I was gonna say. Thank you, honey. Anyway, I'm just, yeah, letting him do it. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on with us. We're thinking that the dogs finally settled down. We have a new microwave, not a Vitamix. Although I will tell you that he called me on Friday and said they had a special on a Vitamix at Sam's Club. Oh, I'm sorry, not a special. He said they had one for sale at Sam's Club. So anyway, we have not gotten one yet. I have also heard from some of you, because the pumpkin spice recipes I've been making, you guys have said that you're having a hard time finding pumpkin. And this actually came, I'm not sure which, this may have been Aldi's, I don't remember. No, it's Simple Truth, so it's Food Lion. But if you're having a hard time finding canned pumpkin, perfect, thank you, dear. If you're having a hard time finding canned pumpkin, look in the baking aisle. So in the baking aisle where they'll have like the little packs of nuts, kind of like this, you may find it there. Often it's like on a bottom shelf or the next to the bottom shelf. So it's in the area where the nuts are and the pie filling. Just make sure you're getting pure pumpkin and not pumpkin pie filling. And that makes the difference. So aren't they cute?
They are just adorable.
Now, what the kids will do is they'll just get a spoon and just like go to it. If I'm making this for something else, sometimes I'll like run a knife around the edge and pop it out. But this is kind of moist. It's a little bit gooey. And if the chocolate chips were kind of, ooh, they're melty already. If they were down in there, they really would be kind of gooey.
I've seen the kids take Minute Muffins and put like some heavy cream with them as they eat them.
They will sometimes, yeah.
Is that good to do?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to grab a spoon? You want to try it?
Sure.
David's like, sure. I don't mind getting up 7 or 8 times. That was the other thing too. We are usually so rushed between finishing up dinner and getting ready for Sunday with the Sullivans and picking up the kitchen. It's just a little more hectic for us during the evening. So thank you, dear. You want to check the comments? Which one do you want to try? You want to try this one?
There's a pumpkin shortage this year.
That's what I'm hearing. Because of what?
A flooding or something.
Flooding? Flooding where?
Oh, wow. Barbara says maple bacon coffee was at the store today. That sounds good.
Maple bacon coffee.
Ooh, Ruthie says put some pat of butter on it instead of using the heavy cream.
Ooh,
that sounds good.
That does sound good. You want me to put some butter on that?
Sure.
That's a good idea. That's why we do Sunday with the Sullivans. Y'all give us such good ideas. There.
Lisa Johnson's commenting on how adorable I am.
Sometimes I think he like makes up the stuff he reads on the comments. Oh, look, the chocolate chips are really melty and yummy looking.
Brown One says she lives in Australia and she's never seen pumpkin in a can.
That's really interesting because for Diet Doctor, there was a recipe that someone had developed. I think it was somebody in Stockholm, and it started with a pumpkin. Like it was saying, use 2 pounds of pumpkin, like cook the pumpkin and get out like 3/4 cup of puree or something like that. And it was so funny because somebody had commented, I guess an American, like, what if you're using canned pumpkin? And you can get like whole pumpkins or small pumpkins, like they call them pie pumpkins. You can get those like in October, but you can't get them now. But this you can get usually around this is like my last can of pumpkin. I didn't know there was a true shortage. I thought people just didn't know where to look. This is my last can of pumpkin. If you see pumpkin, you need to get it. Because I looked on Amazon, it's like crazy expensive. I'm not kidding. Like $3.50, $4 a can.
I guess
on
we're
Amazon.
done with pumpkin spice for this week.
But Thanksgiving
Here,
is coming
cheers.
up. Cheers.
That's good.
You sound surprised.
It's surprisingly good. Lisa says her son and our son are cackling over something.
Lisa, her son Tyler, and our son Jonathan, they play online together like all the time. Like instead of like hurrying up and getting your dinner finished, you can run next door. Jonathan hurries up, gets his dinner done so he can run upstairs and get online with Tyler. It's hilarious.
Probably need to go over the ingredients in the recipe again, including the egg that's not online.
Oh my gosh. We got to get that fixed. Okay. I'll go over it and then I'll see if we can't get the website fixed. I'll try to do it myself. 2 tablespoons of butter, salted butter. Usually I tell everybody to use unsalted. Salted butter. 2 tablespoons of sweetener. 1 tablespoon of coconut flour. 2 tablespoons of whey protein isolate, and I do use the Isopure because it's 0 carb. 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, and I'm gonna have to like make sure I store this like precious stuff. 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. 1/8 of a teaspoon of pumpkin spice mix. I didn't use that. I just used the cinnamon because I love cinnamon. And then a tablespoon of heavy cream. You put in an egg, 1 large egg, which is not in the recipe, and just like maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder to give it a little bit of rise, and that's it. But yeah, I'll have to go back to the website. I actually made it this week from the website and did not notice that that was an issue, so I apologize. And maybe it's there. Maybe when I copied it down, I just did something wrong. But it's Cooking Keto with Kristie. If you do a Google search, Cooking Keto with Kristie, 1-minute pumpkin spice muffin, you'll see it. And so, is it wrong?
She's
Just adorable. She's calling
Cindy's
me.
calling
She's
me.
talking about the crepe cake, honey. It's it's not you that's adorable. It's the crepe cake. It's the ramekin.
It's me.
Okay, yeah, you are adorable. You're adorable. The most adorable thing I've seen all day.
Except for the wing guy.
I didn't see him. I just saw the wings. Actually, I was in my pajamas, and I was in my Dr. Seuss nightgown.
Leanne says that the egg is in the recipe, but apparently the baking powder and the vanilla are missing.
Okay. Well, honestly, you can do it without the baking powder and the vanilla. You really can. That's not a deal breaker, but I'm glad the egg is there.
There is a question about the pumpkin and how you would store it. Can you freeze it?
My
Do
pumpkin.
You have to,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes, you can. Probably what I'll do, since I know now there's a shortage, I did not know before, you can actually take it and put it in small containers, like put it in an ice cube tray and then just pop it out of the ice cube tray, and then you have about 2 tablespoons worth there. But yeah, I may actually put it, we have some of these containers that instead of being 16 ounce, these are 24 ounce. Instead of being like, they're 8 ounce, they're much smaller. So I could take some of the pumpkin, put it in the 8 ounce, and then I know when I thaw it, I have a full cup. And that way, because a lot of the recipes I use it for, use a half cup. Because I really want to make the pumpkin cheesecake recipe for Thanksgiving this year. And that's on YouTube. But the pumpkin, I like it layered. The pumpkin. So anyway, we gotta find pumpkin.
Lauren
Scaring me a little
repeats
bit.
the ice cream or ice cube tray.
Yeah, Lauren Huffman. Yeah, the ice cube tray will work. Anything that you put in, but it freezes beautifully. It's absolutely perfect to do that. So yeah, I didn't know I was using my last can of pumpkin. Somebody said today they did find it at Aldi's, and somebody else said they found it at the Dollar Tree. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a real shortage or not. I'm gonna have to put my clothes on and go out and find pumpkin. You're
sure
gonna
you
have to
do
go
that.
pumpkin. You're gonna put you on the pumpkin trail. We didn't grow any.
someone
Did
was
Granddaddy grow any pumpkin?
No, I mean,
Surely
I doubt it.
all our family members, is Aunt Carolyn watching? Surely all our family members, somebody's got pumpkin. We might have to do our own pumpkin puree. We could do that on Sunday with the Sullivans. Cut up a fresh pumpkin or roast it. I used to roast them and then cut them open and get the puree. But we may have to homestead, bud. We may have, that's roughing it.
Well, we should go plant some this afternoon or this
They
evening.
won't be done in time.
Oh.
Did you know how to get pumpkin from a fresh pumpkin?
No, you get the goop out.
Well, that's
Cut
carving it. We're not.
Yeah, that's
no.
all you do with them.
No, we're gonna have to render puree from a fresh pumpkin this year. That's how bad it's gotten.
Someone was asking whether there's any pumpkin at Sam's Club, and I don't think so. I visit Sam's Club somewhat frequently, and I don't think I remember seeing any pumpkin there. Maybe if it's a seasonal special.
We went out to Virginia, and they had pumpkins on the side of the road. I knew then we should have gotten a pumpkin.
But those are carving pumpkins.
Yeah, there's a difference between a carving pumpkin and a pumpkin pie pumpkin.
There is. There's a
Yeah.
big difference.
We're gonna have to find pumpkins. If anybody knows pumpkins close around, we need pumpkin.
Maybe we should just use squash.
And I don't need to hoard it. I mean, literally 1 can to get me through Thanksgiving would be a beautiful thing. I'm going to share. If I find it, I'll share. I'll let you guys know.
Leona says it may be at Sam's. So maybe I need to look a little harder.
Look, but sometimes at Sam's it'll come in that big 32-ounce thing, or sometimes it'll come in a pack of 3 where you've got 3 cans together. You know how they sell their stuff. But it was, I'm serious, on Amazon, it was like crazy expensive. Amazon had pumpkins that was crazy expensive. And I posted today about the quiche I made for you, or the frittata, the broccoli, country ham, and onion frittata. One of the ladies was saying, because country ham is different from ham. And so she was like, where can I find country ham? So I looked on Amazon really quickly. And I know there's some places in Eastern North Carolina you can order it online. But anyway, I looked, it was like, I'm like, we need to like find somebody with ham, and like we need to start selling this. We can mail it across the country. I mean, it was super expensive. I don't think they have it. Dave was looking up TL Herring. Do they have country ham?
Yeah, they've got to have country ham. They've got everything.
Okay, we'll put the link if they have the country ham. Lisa would know.
I mean, they've got
sausages, but that's not ham. Anyway, if you haven't had country ham, it's so good. It's salty and it's wonderful, and it's more like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like deli meat ham. It's not the same. It's delicious. It's cured with salt. So anyway, one more pumpkin spice recipe. We're going to move to Sundays, probably 1 o'clock on Sundays, and we have a new recipe for you on Sunday that is not pumpkin spice. You'll need a zucchini, like a medium-sized zucchini, and you'll need eggs and cream. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
There are several recommendations that if we're going to do it in the afternoon, maybe 2 o'clock is better.
Okay, why is 2 better?
Because it gives people time to come home from church and
okay, yeah.
get the clothes
Our
off
church
and
has
get
been at a
lunch.
weird time, but
Yeah,
okay.
we've been doing 10 o'clock.
Okay, so they're saying that 2 might be better. Okay.
So you'll need to post the exact time.
I will.
Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Oh.
Thank you guys for joining
Sorry.
us. And if you make the pumpkin spice 1-minute muffins, let us know what you think. You can tag me, and I didn't put very many pecans in there, didn't put many chocolate chips, but anyway, hope that if you make it that you enjoy it too. Thanks for joining us tonight.